Chapter 18, if you have to, start moving your lips. So, why am I here? I ask myself. I'm a massage therapist who did it a little backwards in that I decided to graduate from a massage program and then go to a university to receive a Bachelor in Science degree. Now, I found that backwards because in actuality, if I had done it the other direction, I probably wouldn't have found as much joy. And to be perfectly honest, I was not college material when I first went into massage school. So neither here, neither there. But beside the point. So I graduate, and I'm asked to give a speech at a class. My then advisor, Dr. Williams, who, by the way, was a department chair and a completely stunning 6-foot-something African Amazon goddess. Yes, I did have a crush on her. No, she never knew about it. I was actually married, but never mind that, and we'll get to that a little later, but I still happily married to my wife. But Dr. Williams, Cynthia, by the way, asked me to give a speech on the benefits of starting a business. Now, my background as a college student was actually exercise science, and because she was also a basketball coach, it appealed to her to help her students who were a little younger than me. I was a mature student at the time. It appealed to her to give my perspective on starting a business. And so I was totally unprepared for this. It would be my first professional lecture that I had ever given on the subject of massage therapy and business acumen. And to be perfectly honest, I was nervous. I had butterflies in my stomach because I would be in front of my contemporaries in the exercise profession trying to convince them that they needed to go a little more broad in their profession and add other therapeutic applications to some of their career paths. Some of them took my advice. Some of them became my massage colleagues, and most of them did not. But what I did learn is that once you start getting in front of a group of people, you're automatically an authority. And if someone else who is a higher authority than you, say the department chair, does the introductions, then you automatically have credibility. You automatically have credibility because you're leaning on the credibility of that person. And to be honest, that was the first time that I had to do a professional level speech of this kind. And it was a lecture. It was about an hour and some change long, and I went over everything from starting a business to marketing to using your degree to not using your degree, some of the fears, a little racism, a little sexism, and I went into all kinds of details on some of the pitfalls that some of my colleagues would face if they ever decided to start their own business, regardless if they were going into athletics or they were going into therapeutic care. That aside, after I got finished the lecture, Dr. Williams came and said, "Mr. Roach, here is your check." Now, to be perfectly honest, I was flabbergasted. She couldn't see it, and thank God I have a darker hue, and she couldn't see how red-faced I was because, to be perfectly honest, I was surprised. And I looked, and it was a check. It was the first time that I had ever been paid for a lecture I had just given. Come to find out, in academia, people who are guest lecturers get paid. They don't just do it for free. Now, I thought that was unique in that I had come from this exact same institution, and I had just been paid as a professional. Now, as a massage therapist, you're often tasked with using your hands, your elbows, your shoulders, in a number of your thumbs, your fingers, to work out the pain, the discomfort, the stress, or what have you, which is facing you or what's facing your client or patient. However, one of the best ways that I find as a practitioner to really, really expose yourself as a professional is to get out and give lectures. Now, I'm not talking about lectures for free. One of the big mistakes that many massage therapists that I've seen, especially those who are young, who are willing to do a lecture in front of a class for free, or maybe a civic group for free, or maybe just to do it because they figure that'll get your name out. I caution you against this because if you give it away for free, very few people will pay you in the future. If you give it away for free, very few people will pay you in the future. Now, that aside, when you're getting started for the first time and you're just doing this for practice, and like any other profession, if you become a trainer, which I actually migrated over to, besides being a massage therapist, you'll find very quickly that you need to practice. Yes, we all have a mouth. Yes, we all have a brain. But how do you captivate the audience to get them to get behind you, to feel the passion that you have in your voice? Believe it or not, you have to go to school to do this. And there are a number of schools out there who would teach you how to deliver a great speech or lecture, and you can go and do that. However, one of the best places that I've learned, and many of my colleagues have learned, those who've gone out to do TED Talks and those who've gone on to do TED Med Talks, which is the baby brother, which popped up after TED Talk was sold for umpteen $1 million, it ended up becoming Toastmaster. Toastmaster, I guarantee you there's a Toastmaster somewhere in your community, and joining Toastmaster it's very easy. All you have to do is Google Toastmaster, put your area code, put your city or whatever, and you'll find a Toastmaster group. The benefit that Toastmaster have is that it's a place for you to work on your lecture. Each person is given the opportunity to give a lecture about whatever subject they feel they need practice on. So let's just say you're going to speak on massage therapy, or you're going to speak on rehab, or you're going to speak on sports injuries, or you may, after a while, start speaking on business and business development, or being an entrepreneur. Whatever is your subject, you have a certain time period, and the beauty of it is that you have real-time critique by other people who are just as new as you, or those who are master lecturers. The benefit is that you get instant feedback, and you don't have to worry about, feeling all embarrassed, because everybody feels that way the first time out. We all know that. And the group is incredibly supportive and encouraging to help you. Now, if you decide to go down this path, understand that you will now have another way to generate income. Remember, the goal of this book is to give you secrets and to give you methodologies to grow a 6- and 7-figure income without touching everybody that you see, or you're not getting everybody on your massage table. The way to do that and to expand other ways to develop income is use your mouth. One of the people that I admire was Nito Cobain. Now, Nito Cobain came to the United States with less than $100 in his pocket. He was from Lebanon, came to this country, went to High Point University, which happened to be my alma mater, but that's not important. He developed a unique teaching style. He developed a business coaching and mentoring program. He developed a number of other products that he sold to corporations, generating millions and millions and millions of dollars. He generated leadership development courses. Now, here's the funny thing about it. Though he never had a PhD, he developed many 7-figure and 8-figure companies. Though he's never been called professor in a class, today he's not known as Nito Cobain. He's known as Dr. Cobain. The reason is because some other wild business academicians decided to take him from his undergraduate degree and promote him to doctor. What that meant also is that he is now the president of High Point University, and under his tutelage, he's brought people like Rudy Giuliani, Queen Noor, Malcolm Gladwell, Steve Wozniak, Steve Wozniak, also the co-founder of Apple, who actually helped develop the modern-day Apple with Steve Jobs. A number of other people, Clarence Thomas, who, to be perfectly honest, I don't like him. Just my own personal bias. However, Nito Cobain has brought some of the most talented, dynamic speakers, minds of this century, and even some who are moved into the next century to High Point University using innovative ideas. And how he made his money the first time was actually lecturing. So if you've not taken on the mantle of lecturer, teacher, mentor, and if you will, scholar in the industry called massage therapy, you need to consider doing it, because you can develop a 6- and 7-figure income like many of our students by doing exactly that and only having to massage exactly the people you'd like your hands to touch. That's it for now. Chapter 19. If you're not in a network marketing company, you're leaving lots of money on the table and your hands might get tired. So, I'm in an auditorium and this hyper kid who I swear had one too many espressos kept chanting to the speaker. I'm in an audience, hundreds of people there, and he kept saying, yes, go do it. Yes, go do it. Yeah, we can take it together. And I'm thinking I'm at a football game. I don't know why this kid is so excited. Now, to be perfectly honest, he wasn't a kid. He was actually a middle-aged guy who, for some reason, was very excited about the speaking topic. Now, I like to go to lectures like anybody, and it was presented to me as a lecture about health and the benefits of living a more productive lifestyle. I'm always interested in people who talk about health, regardless of the subject and country and what have you. As long as I can understand it, I find benefits to going to any lecture almost all the time. And you will find me oftentimes in all kinds of audiences, from network marketing to health to business development to even spiritual conferences I will go to and be in a lecture audience. Now, this company who actually put it on and made it feel like it was actually a health and wellness lecture was put on by a company called Quickstar. Now, Quickstar probably is not known to you and probably not known to many people unless you've been in this business for a while. And Quickstar, whose later name had to change because of some legal ramifications and whatnot, is actually Amway by another name. Now, before you get all weird and everything like that and start thinking Amway is a bad thing, I don't know, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I find that Amway is a company that I really respect. Now, to give you some perspective on how big Amway really is that even though it started in the late 40s, it has been running successfully for many years, building 6- and 7-figure companies. Individuals, what I mean by companies. Now, to give you a better perspective, Betsy DeVos, who's the current Secretary of Education under the Trump administration, is the daughter-in-law of the co-founder of Amway. To make you understand how big this company is, they also own the Orlando Magic basketball franchise, and they are the branded name of where the Orlando Magic plays. They own countless property. They own not only their own parent company, which is Amway, but they own real estate, vacation properties, a travel company, and a whole list of other things, including aircraft. Now, I was first introduced to the idea of network marketing in this instance. I will admit it was a little weird, and I was a little put off because I thought I was coming to a health and wellness conference. But after I sat down and realized that the guy who was sitting next to me was still hyper like he was on espresso, did have a genuine desire to learn more about business and business acumen. Now, many massage therapists, and I don't know how you are, oftentimes think that the only way to build business is having hands-on body. And I realize that is actually a good methodology. However, would you be surprised to understand that many massage therapists have decided to go and start their own business brands under the umbrella of network marketing? Now, network marketing is very simple. It basically means you're an individual representative of a product or service, bringing it directly to the consumer. Meaning there is no middleman, you are the person, and oftentimes you're a distributor, so all you're doing is basically promoting a product and you have it sold directly to your consumer. You don't have to handle everything like shipping and handling and working on all that stuff. That's done at a corporate level, and Amway is no different. There are other companies that are very synonymous with massage therapists. Some of them are in oils or essential oils. Some of them are nutraceuticals. Some of them are travel services. I mean, basically every industry you can actually think about, including legal services, insurance products, have been gone through this simple format of network marketing. Now, network marketing may not work for you because for whatever preconceived notions that you think that you have to tell all of your friends and family and make them enemies and pretty much have them hide from you on holidays. But I'm here to tell you that if you don't use network marketing, your competition will. And one advantage of network marketing is getting some of your clients, not all of them, but some of your clients on AutoShip. AutoShip is kind of one of those funny things in that your clients buy your product or buy the product that you're promoting and they get it once a month. Once they get started, they're on continual process. Now here's what a trick gets. And here's where the understanding is. Your clients are no different than any consumer. They will love your product if you are promoting it and speaking about it positively. But if you believe that your clients are just going to buy your product and you never have to touch them again, you might be slightly crazy to believe that. Network marketing works because there is a human interaction. And the further away you are from your consumer, the more likelihood someone else is going to steal them from you. There's always competition, no matter in the massage industry or network marketing industry. So the important factor is to contact them and speak on the benefits. You can do this once a month, or you can speak about it when they come in. The key component is not become some kind of slick oil salesperson. Just be very honest, very open, use the product in your practice, and it makes it very easy for you to add this as an added value. I often say, give your clients an opportunity to try some of the products out first, or even let them try it out at a low price, maybe just a consumer, a discount, just so they can see if there are benefits for them. The cool part about this is if you have a bona fide product and it works and it's not too expensive, you'll have a loyal customer who may in fact pay you in the long run more money in the products that you offer than you could ever have managed to generate by touching their body or working on their back. Now, I'm a big proponent, as you already guessed, for network marketing. The odd part about it is I'm currently not in any specific network marketing company, but I work with a lot of network marketers, and I bring their product into our practice and allow them to promote it in our practice. The reason why I do that is not because I just want them to do it. The reason I do that is because it's something we learned in other chapters, is working together synergistically. When I'm helping another marketer, as long as they're honest, ethical, and trustworthy, then I will allow them to come into our practice. And it works very well. It works beautiful because while they're promoting their products, they're also promoting my products. While I'm promoting my services, I'm promoting their products. And you'll find that in networking, it's beautiful because you don't always have to promote one product. You can, especially as a massage therapist, you can promote multiple services as long as it works well with your business model. Now, I would encourage you to go figure out which business model you're going to use. Are you going to be more on the holistic side, or are you going to be more on the spa side? Pick products that relate very well, because if you're a massage therapist and you're selling, say, legal services, that may not go very well as far as your target audience. However, if you're selling things that are for your skin or things that will go inside, meaning nutraceuticals, then that may go well depending, again, on the business model that you have. So consider using network marketing as a way to leverage your business, to add more value to your business, to add more greenbacks to your bottom line. And if you desire for some strange reason not to be a part of a network marketing company, encourage one of your partners or even one of your clients to work with you so that you work cyclical and that you refer them good clients, they refer you good clients, and it tends to work out. That's it for today. Chapter 20. Your greatest source of innovation may be at your fingertips. It's Tuesday, and I'm sitting in a CEU class. I'm in a town not too far outside of Charlotte, taking what I thought would be a musculoskeletal class for my state requirements to maintain my licensure as a massage therapist. Now, I have a science background, and I have to say that because with two science backgrounds, I tend to organize my thoughts and how I assimilate education under the scientific method, meaning the information must be qualified and quantified using the scientific method, meaning testing, adapting, and duplication by others. Pretty simple scientific methodology. However, I'm in a class by a guy named Bob, who in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this is a bunch of bullshit. Period. The reason is that because of my science background, it's very hard for me to understand energy and energy classes. Now, my pet peeve with the National Certification Board is that many of the courses are, let's just say, a little less than scientific and a lot more imagination, in my opinion. Now, others have different opinions, and you're welcome to realize that. But with my background, I tend to gauge things on that. So Bob, who was kind of a cross between John Lennon and John Denver, was a little folksy for me. Now, that doesn't mean he was a bad person, and that doesn't necessarily mean he was a bad teacher. What it did mean was that he may have hugged one too many trees in his past, and though he started out the class as more of a anatomy and physiology, where it ended up going clearly started to seem like it was more of an energy class. He had a background in Tui Na and yoga and Tai Chi and the movement of Chi and energy, which we understand is the life force energy. However, it's sometimes very difficult to qualify that and even quantify that using the scientific methodology. So, like my teacher told me once before, when you're in the class, always pay attention, look intensely like it makes sense. Wouldn't you want everybody else to do the same thing for you if you were the teacher? So, I never disrespect, even when in the back of my mind, I think it's a bunch of caca. However, one of the things that really stuck out about Bob's class was he talked about energy and how energy transfers from your hands to another person. Now, I understand that we all are energetic individuals, meaning we have neurons and electrons, and we push off energy and we receive energy. And this is like heat in the form of heat and sweat, and those are pretty much mechanical processes. But what he was talking about was something more on the energetic level. And again, this is pushing my limits of tolerance. So I kept my mind open, and he said, people give you energy and you give them energy, and depending on the flow will dictate who's the recipient and who's the giver. And it made me remember that some of my greatest innovations in my business model came through my hands. Now, not in the fact that I learned different ways of massaging or manipulating the soft tissue, or even the hard tissue for that matter. What it did was let me understand that some of my clients were the greatest source of inspiration. Ironically, it's not in what they did
or even what they said. It's what their body gave off. And I think of one of my clients who's a very active triathlete, father, business owner, husband, dedicated man to the community, and his body has given me some of the greatest sources of inspiration. Now, as you go through your business, as you develop your 6 and 7 figure business plan, remember and keep in mind that some of your greatest sources of innovation can come through your fingertips. I think of your fingertips as something like a USB drive. You plug it in to someone's body while you're massaging them, and you are giving them healing power to help with a back pain or a headache or inability to sleep. And at the same time, they're giving you something if you're open to it. I created workshops, seminars, books, courses, lectures, pamphlets, and even videos by the ideas that I received from someone's body. So even though you may be more scientific, if you're like me, don't be so closed-minded that you don't tap into the power that's at your fingertips. You'll find that sometimes your greatest idea comes from massaging. I love doing massage, and that's not always because I like to see people very happy. Yes, I do, of course. I want to see people healthy and happy and moving towards healing. But I like it because that's where my ideas come from. That's where my inspiration comes from. That's how I solve my problems, is through massage. So while I'm going through the therapeutic process, I'm learning and I'm processing and I'm listening to their body at the same time. But what they're doing sometimes is actually giving me inspiration. So remember, while you're in the massage space, do what you can to help that individual. But don't be so closed-minded that you don't listen to what the wisdom that their body is giving you. Who knows? Your next business venture may be one massage session away.
Chapter 21. Give a person a cape to reveal their superpowers. So, one of my kids, well, actually all of our kids, our favorite movie to watch oftentimes is The Incredibles. Now, if you don't know what The Incredibles are, they're sort of a parable on superhero powers where they reveal what happens when a family of superheroes works together. Now, we're not talking about things like the Fantastic Four, where you had a husband and a wife and a brother-in-law. We're talking about a mom, a dad, and 3 kids all have superpowers. And it's really funny because the dad is kind of like me, probably a little more brawn and brain, but loves his family, will defend the family to the end, but probably a little bit loose on the brain side. His wife, on the other hand, is intelligent, flexible. As a matter of fact, her name is Elastigirl, so that should give you anything. And it's one of those things. So in this scene, one of the designers of the superhero suits is a character by the name of Edna Mode. Now, she's a fashion designer, but her specific powers is the ability to create superhero costumes or superhero uniforms. Depends on how you take it. And she goes through and tells Mr. Incredible, who is the patriarch of the family, the bad idea of redesigning his suit with a cape. The biggest issue being that the cape may actually hamper you in the development of your job. So if you're flying through the air and you're saving people with an aircraft, then the aircraft might catch your cape and actually kill you. That aside, which is a really funny story, that aside,
we start to look at things about incredible and creating your superpower of a group. Now, business is not born in isolation, and we've talked about this, and we talked about superheroes in previous chapters. What we didn't talk about is turning your customers into superheroes, giving them a cape so that they can reveal their superpowers. And it's like building the Avengers team, which I love Iron Man. As a matter of fact, he's, other than a couple other characters, Iron Man is my absolute favorite recently because he's the only character in the Marvel Universe that I'm aware of who's a business owner. Now think about that. He runs a business day and night, selling products and services, and he defends the weak and is also his own personal interest. But consider your customer as someone who is looking for a mission, for a passion, for something to get behind. And if you help them to don your uniform and don your apparel and don the things that make them feel like they belong, and to be perfectly honest, and I know this might sound a little crass, the most important person in your business organization, of course, is not you. The most important person in an organization is the customer, because it's through the customer that you learn your faults, your strengths, as well as it's the customer who pays everyone from the CEO down to the new employee. So when you acquire your uniform and you start selling or providing swag for your customers, you start to understand the methodology in that many people are looking for something to get behind. Many people are looking for a brand to follow that's noble, that's pure, that's praiseworthy, and do good in the world. I mean, it's no different than many companies who just use their brand as good mission tour. One of the ones that I love is actually Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, who use their brand as a mission and a message. Now, they make a whole bunch of money, but they create a brand awareness by some of their attire that they wear. So, some of the ways you can do this, and we talked about this, is to start creating swag that you provide for your customers for either loyalty, longevity, or give them the option to buy. Bumper stickers are great loyalty brand awareness and creating that superhero power. T-shirts are also amazing at solidifying. And keep in mind, you have to have a mission. You can't just say your brand. What does your brand represent outside of the products and services that you provide? Do you represent strength, unity? Do you represent holistic? Do you represent people who are helping the homeless, or people who are helping young people get out of the sex trade? Or are you building houses in North America, South America, Africa, or even Europe? Are you doing good with your brand? Are you protecting your brand and showing the public and showing your potential superheroes who are your customers that they can get behind you? Yes, they still will pay you awesome amounts of money, but we are oftentimes looking for a tribe, a culture, a group that we want to belong to. That's why people go to churches. That's why people join associations or groups on Facebook. That's why people join gangs, is that they want to belong, especially if they feel like they're an outsider. Don't let your customer feel like an outsider. Give your customer a cape and let them reveal to you their superpowers. You may find that sometimes your superpowers might be that, or their superpowers might be that you eventually, and this may happen, it's happened in some cases, that your customer becomes part of your team and one of your employees. So, get a cape, whatever that is, if it's a t-shirt, baseball cap, whatever, that they can walk around with, and they can show others that I belong to your organization, and more importantly, to your mission, to do good in the world, to provide service, to make a crap load of money, and give a lot of it away. to help others in the world improve their lives. That's it for today.